Hello everyone, my name is AP the Weird One, and we are back with another episode review of The Most Notorious Talker Runs the World's Greatest Clan. I think this is episode 6, I believe. Anyway, this episode, actually a really good episode. There's one minor complaint and a couple, I would say, one complaint and one minor complaint. So let's go with the minor complaint. Louse. In the manga, he gives off a bigger, like, threatening presence. Like, this guy's supposed to be, like, huge. Yeah, I mean, he seems a little bit, not as beefy. He just, like, he seemed like a lot older and more intimidating in the manga. That's from how I read it, and I think even the light novel. Like, this guy was just larger than life. And here I'm like, minor complaint. So anyway, this episode, Noel Son's about to shoot this Miguel, but he decides not to because this guy is not a wolf. He wants someone who's bloodthirsty, who wants to fight on his own. And because he doesn't run away from his master, he doesn't deal with it. He then goes to afterwards he leaves to the girls, and they have a chit chat. This is where the bear complaint comes from. This is like where you need a little bit more episode, maybe a little bit more episode, and maybe they'll touch on it later. But the elf girl, Licia, she proposes to Alma and Noel to be friends. Noel's like, why all of a sudden? Well, because Tanya didn't allow that to happen, and they pointed out Tanya had feelings for him, and he didn't recognize that because he's not in that mind space. He didn't realize that because he's more, being a seeker is more business savvy. And this is important to understand for later, though maybe you don't have to deal with it, I don't know. But I will say it is important. It's going to come up, this love interest is going to come back up later. And then afterwards, they kind of separate their ways. They be friends, and Lucia has to go do a job. And we run into Albert Gambino. I made one little mistake with... I kind of jumped the gun, and I said this, and I think Dal Albert, Miguel is... He's got problems with the Dalmark. He used to work for them, and he owed them. So, he gets caught up with them, and he's kind of screwed. He tries to beg for his life a little bit, but he's ultimately screwed. He's going to... they threaten to summon a pig, but then the guy from the little village guy comes around, the one that Noel took an eye out. He decides, all right, let's deal with this problem first. And so he has Koga dispatch him with his sword. In the manga and in the light novel, there's like a bit of a pause, like when he slices off his arm, it's like, oh, like why isn't it happening? Like in the anime, it's just very instantaneous. So there is that, just a little minor discrepancy. There is a little bit slowdown because Albert does get very angry. He just throws in the fit because he got the drugs and everything in his system. Then goes that, and then he decides to, now that he's done this work, Albert employs him, he goes after Noel Stallings. That's basically the episode. They two kind of fight off. Oh, there is the backstory to Koga. We learn his backstory. He's from an Eastern family, but the reason he gets in this situation is because when his parents were praying for a healthy son, they get attacked and she gets SA'd. And in the light novel, this guy's a little bit more descriptive, but he gets very pointed there thinking, is this kid my son? He looks like my son, but no, I can't convince him. He's just so disappointed. The mother just offs herself, and the son just decides to live for a little bit. He tries to please his father, but doesn't work, and he eventually gets sold off to slavery. Miguel finds him and turns him into a gladiator. Pretty sad story. I mean, it sucks. Like, from two ends, they could have, in the light novel, they could have mentioned they could have taken drugs to abort the child, but they didn't want to take the risk that it's not being theirs. They probably should have done it regardless, because he's becoming that paranoid, but like, no, we'll take the chance. Maybe be on side, but the father was just too out there, so he keeps it, and then he decides to get angry and sell him off. Can't bear with the pain any longer. So, and then after the backstory, Koga goes confront Noel. He meets up with a spy, Loki, who he could have killed, but because he sold him out. But he's like, you know what? Since you're willing to sacrifice yourself, I got purposes to use later. Considering he's going to go up against Albert Gambino, and Loki is a valuable spy because he can transform into different people. He's going to keep him around. So, and basically, the episode just ends him with dueling. We see Koga's abilities, what he can do. Overall solid episode. We do get to see the mayor from the little town get his arm sliced off, and the fact that it baffles me that this type of gore is considered PG-13, but not like nipples, whatever. I just find that interesting because, like when I watch Blood Diamond or Man with the Iron Fist, whatever. Yeah, Man with the Iron Fist. They show his hands get lopped off, and like, yeah, it's considered rated R. That's what makes it like that. The gore is what made it rated R. But I'm like, yeah, we got so used to it, and it's not just this series. It's other series. I'm not complaining about it, and just pointing it out for just the convenience. But I mean, overall, not a bad episode. I think that my biggest shtick, I think, is Laos just not looking very intimidating. Yeah, the stuff with Tanya and the girls, yeah, that they could have brought that up. However, I think maybe in a minimalistic setting, like we're gonna see that pen to fruition, and we already knew from episode 2 that, yeah, there was hints that Tanya did like him, so it's like we don't need to reinforce it. I just more so for Noel, like, yeah, this girl did like you. That's why, because he treated her like a big sister, like a big sister a little bit. So he thought that she treated like a little brother, but no, that wasn't the case. So, I mean, overall, this is a good episode. Got everything that was necessary. Could have been a little bit longer, sure. Otherwise, fine episode. Next episode, I'm curious how long we're going to go for. We're going to be a 3-parter or a 4-parter? I'm not sure about that. This little arc, it's not bad, but I kind of just wanted to wrap it up. The next arc after that is the good stuff. That's where this is when it made me realize, like, oh, this is pretty interesting. This is what made it really special for me. So I'm gonna end it here. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful day. See you guys next time. Make sure to check it out. At least the manga and light novel, the anime, I've got my problems with. But see you guys next time. Make sure you guys have today is election day, so make sure you're safe. Go vote for whoever you want to. Obviously, I've already voted, and there's a certain candidate I would like you to vote for. But hey, I will not force you, and I won't speak it because if you want to know my opinion, you can go on Twitter or X. Anyway, see you guys. See you guys next time for another review, and God bless you all.